So everything you need to know about Warzone 2.0, the gulag changes, proximity chat, things like that. First thing I'd say is loadouts. Loadouts are changing for sure. They're gonna have loadout. There's gonna be drops that'll still happen. So you know how when you're playing, like you get in, you're looting your stuff, and then all of a sudden you see a loadout drop on the ground out there, and you're like, oh, that's our loadout drop. We can go grab it, and you didn't have to buy it. Those are still gonna be in the game. So you'll still have random drops. The only difference is buying loadout drops. You won't buy loadout drops. You can buy your primary weapon from the shop. So gather all your money, whatever. You can go buy your primary weapon instead of your entire loadout. As you just get your primary weapon. So I mean that's a little bit different. And I've heard, I haven't seen, but I've heard that there's ways to buy a weapon and then upgrade the weapon through the shop to make it better and better. I'm guessing. That's just all I heard is upgrades. So there's that on loadouts, I think, and there's a couple other ways to get loadouts, but one of them is going to be strongholds and black sites. Have you heard about these, Freeman?
No, I've not.
So there's strongholds and black sites. These are AI populated areas. So you'll go into a stronghold and obviously take out AI, and I believe you can get your loadout. And then there's ones that are called black sites, which are harder. Like you have to get a key to the black sites or whatever in order. You have to go through strongholds to get to the black sites, and I'm guessing they have better and better loot as you go up, obviously.
Hmm.
So that's another way to get your loadout. And then also I think the it's going to make for a lot more fun in the battle royale mode to have AI populated places. Plus people might camp those, I don't know.
So when I watched the big reveal of DMC, I think I noticed Lupo go into, I think it was a black site because he got a key and he opened the door and he
Okay.
was greeted to like two or three AI enemies with riot shields and pistols,
Oh
and they
no.
almost wiped them. But it was hilarious because they were actually like working together, almost kind of like a mini boss. And it was
Hmm.
funny
Hmm.
because his teammates had to basically come in and bail him out from that because they were tough. But no, that is really neat.
It is. It is. And also a thing now is backpacks. There's backpacks and there's different size backpacks. So even in Warzone, there's different size backpacks that you can hold more crap in your backpack, obviously. And we know the backpack looting system. Like there's gonna be some stuff that goes on the ground, like guns, whatever, but you'll be able to go into people's backpacks and take their armor plates, their ammo, stuff like that.
I love putting
Um,
crap in my backpack.
yeah, put crap in it, like especially your teammates. Well, actually, I like getting in backpacks, but that's better.
So I was gonna say with the backpacks, right? I know there's stuff you can pick up on the map that's not like, so in the campaign, right? You could pick up stuff and craft items with it,
Uh
and you
huh.
could use said items. Now I'm not sure in, is that the same in Warzone, or is it just you pick up stuff to sell in the shop to get money?
I'm not. I haven't heard anything about being able to craft stuff. I haven't heard anything about that. The gulag. Obviously, everybody knows the gulag has changed. Now it's a 2v2 instead of those beloved 1v1s that everybody had a great time with.
Hmm.
Um, as has been mentioned already, the jailer is now like a mini boss that comes into said gulag with and he has a minigun. That's pretty cool. Said he's gonna have a minigun, and if all the players team up and kill the jailer, all four people, the two on each team, get redeployed back into the map. Which is where we talked about proximity chat. The game having proximity chat is going to make a for some interesting interactions in the gulag now,
Ah,
especially with the
well,
jailer.
I was gonna say Tim the Tatman tweeted out last week his opinion of pro strat for everyone when Warzone 2 drops is that everyone should just prox chat, team with your enemies, and take out the jailer so all four people can bounce back to the map.
That's
So once you
because
take,
Tim sucks at gulag.
but he's got a point though.
He's
If
got a
I can
great
get my
point.
what's better than two people trying to kill the jailer? How about all four of us trying to kill
It's
him?
true.
Because he drops
Well,
towards the
two
end.
people wouldn't try to kill the jailer, right? I mean, because then you're letting the other team out too, just for you doing all the work. I wouldn't do that. I would just kill the other team or try to. I mean,
Nah,
unless there
nah,
was
gotta
unless
have
there was a
fun.
proximity chat that said everybody focus the jailer, we can all go back, then I would be on board. But then I'm also probably going to scumbag some people and shoot them while they're trying to kill the jailer. But That's gonna be the fun part. So you get teamed up with all randoms. So you're gonna have somebody on your team that you don't know. Like mics are gonna be hot in Warzone. I think at least for the first little while. Like everybody's mic's gonna be
Oh
on.
yeah. Kind of like right now, you can't go into an MW2 match without everyone's mic screaming at you. I
Hmm.
feel like there are more people using mics in MW2 than any game I've played in the last 10 years. It feels like
It
everyone
hasn't
is
been
using
like
their
that.
mic.
Like lobbies haven't been like
Yeah,
this since like Black Ops 2 days. Like back
I
on
both love
back
it
when
and
Call of
hate
Duty
it.
was great. And now they've got a
Yeah.
this is one of the best Call of Duties they've had in years. And the mics are everywhere now. It's fun. Okay, DMZ. The DMZ, the awaited game mode that everybody's been waiting for. So it has the same map as Warzone 2, and uh, but with a different approach. Obviously, you're not trying to be the last one alive like you do in Warzone. You are simply uh, given tasks from different factions in the game, and you try to complete the tasks. Get out of there. I think there's supposed to be mainly AI. I mean, it's PvP, but I think a lot of your mission or your task stuff is going to be AI based, where you have to fight through AI to complete your stuff. But then you're just going to get tagged by people from the side most of the time, and that's going to be fun.
So with that, I know Dr. Disrespect has come out hard on social media against DMC, saying that it is not a Tarkov esque like thing. It's not a true extraction shooter. His thing was it was way too AI heavy. It seemed like there were hundreds of AI versus like a dozen players during the big reveal mode. And to him, he
Really?
was like, yeah, like everybody that they were shooting at was an AI. Like I think they were very rare PvP encounters because of how big the map is and how many like it is super dense with AI. And that's his big complaint against it is it does not feel like a an extraction shooter at all.
Just because there's not enough tactics to it, I'm guessing is the thing. There's
I
too
think he
much run and gun
right.
against AI and not players. Like in
It
Warzone, you're running gun against players.
right. You're basically doing the same thing versus AI versus like in a Tarkov or like the cycle or any extraction shooter. It tends to be more hardcore, right? You get
Yeah.
shot, you're dead. You don't just open blast everybody. Like you kind of
All
play it
right.
more methodically.
And the
If
AI
you
is more
watch
strategically placed rather than just being everywhere. All right. So it's a it's the survival shooter kind of Tarkov esque where you lose the gear. Like if you've looted gear for your task or whatever and you die, you lose it, obviously. But also you get to take in a weapon of choice, right?
Mhm.
And if you die in that mission, you lose that weapon for a time. So there's also these other runs where you can get um like a random weapon, like a different kind of weapon that's not from your loadout, and play with it, kind of like a scav run was in Escape from Tarkov. So you'll have a cooldown on that main weapon that you might want to take in there all the time. So you can't just like repeat constantly. You're gonna have to have cooldowns. You're gonna do other stuff like that. And obviously, both of these modes are free for everyone. You don't have to even own Modern Warfare 2 to play all these. Another aspect that people haven't really talked about very much is the factions. And from the articles and the people that have talked about this, they don't know much about the factions, but there are going to be three different factions. There's Legion, White Lotus, and Black Monus. Monus. I don't
Hmm.
know how you say it. Black Monus. Black Monus. But I'm guessing they're all like you can pick a faction. And it said for beginners starting out, Legion's probably the best one, but then you can switch to the Black Monus or a White Lotus. And you're gonna do the tasks for the different factions. I don't know if you have to be loyal to one, like build up rep. Well, I don't know much about them yet, but I just know that there's three factions, and they'll give you the tasks, and every successful run that you make, you earn. That's how you earn rewards and earn blueprints and all kinds of different stuff for the actual game. And another thing I didn't know about that's from the article was about the radiation circle. Did you hear about that?
No, what's that?
There's that sounded scripted. No, what's that? I from what I read, it's exactly like Warzone, but not the moving circles. Like, the new Warzone has the different circles that are going to go different. It's like split and come back together and all that stuff. But apparently, there is a radiation circle that only happens late in the match to force people to extract. Because, like in Escape from Tarkov, it's timed. Like, there's like 30-minute runs. And,
Right.
and if you get down to the timer, you're just done. You can't extract. And so at the very end of these timed runs, I guess there's going to be a radiation circle that pretty much forces people to extract. So we don't have to worry about that because number one, we'll either extract really fast because we're chickens, or we'll die before that radiation circle.
Yeah,
That's
that's
us, dude.
pretty
That's
accurate.
us.
Although now, because we're talking about it, we're gonna make it a point to stick out long enough just to see it happen.
That is our goal is to for Wednesday night is to watch a DMZ radiation circle almost close in on us before we extract. That's a goal.
All right, that's the goal, folks.